Fasting is one of the most powerful spiritual exercise we have as people. But have you ever fasted and you felt it was ineffective, felt into getting it right, and you did not really understand what was happening while you were fasting? And if that is your case, or you really want to know more about fasting and the benefits, stay with me to the end. My name is Melody Utoro, and this is a safe place for Christian boys and girls who are trying to level up in every area of their life. Today, I'm going to be talking about fasting, the proper way to fast. Fasting is not about skipping meals, it is about drawing close to Jesus. I want us to understand that when you fast, do not look sober as the hypocrite. If you notice, Jesus Christ did not say if you fast, meaning that is what he said when, meaning that fasting is expected of us as Christians. Fasting is meant to humble us, break stronghold, and align us to God's will. If you are fasting to lose weight, or you are fasting because it is a trend, or you are just following some obligation, you are actually missing the point. I want us to understand, before you go into fasting, you prepare your heart. You ask yourself, or search your heart and say, am I doing it? You can ask yourself some questions. Am I doing it because I want to draw closer to God? Or am I doing it because it's a trend? Or am I doing it because I just want people around me to know that I'm spiritual? You are spiritual not because you want to seek God's will, or not because you just want to do it for show. Just as the Pharisees in the days of old, they were just, whenever they fast, they put on sad countenance, they just, everybody knows that these people are fasting. Are you doing it because of that? So before you go into fast, you prepare your heart. You prepare your heart and ask yourself some questions. Why do I want to fast? Why? What do I need? What do I want from God in this fast? Sometimes when you do something without knowing the reason why, you see that along the line you will get discouraged and you just stop, or along the line you will begin to murmur in the midst of doing a fast. In the midst, you begin to murmur and complain and all that. If you are doing it with that proper understanding of why are you fasting, why am I doing this? In Isaiah 58 verses, God was asking his people, is this not the fast that I have chosen to lose the bound of wickedness and to undo every burden? True fasting should bring spiritual breakthrough. If you fast appropriately, it ought to bring spiritual breakthrough. While fasting, there are things you do as a child of God. Don't just skip food and you stay there till the time that you are supposed to break the fast. So while fasting, you spend time in reading God's word, you spend time in praying, in worshiping, you spend time in evangelizing, doing all that spiritual activities. Because fasting is a spiritual exercise to keep your spirit man strong. It's for you to draw closer to God, so to interface with God. So fasting without prayer, without God's word, is just, you are just doing it just because you are just doing weight loss, or you are just doing hunger strike. Most of the times many people complain, I'm fasting, I'm not seeing any results. I want you to look at your activities and the things you engage yourself into while you fast. Most of the time, some people, when they fast, that is the time for them to while away time. What they do is that they watch movie, spend time with friends, and even they sleep. I'm not saying that sleep, having some time to rest during fast is wrong. No. What I'm saying that you don't spend all your time sleeping and talking to friends just to while away time, spend time on social media. No. If you do that, you are just doing hunger strike, because that is not a fast. So you cannot say you are fasting and you are not feeding yourself with God's word, you're not praying, you're not doing any spiritual exercise, it will not yield the proper results. So there are different types of fast. So before you get into fast, you need to know that there are different types of fast. There's absolute fast, the type that Esther did in a time, no no water, no food for certain time, for a certain period of time. Esther was 3 days. No, there is, we have the absolute fast, we have the normal fast. The normal fast has to do with no food, but you take water. In Matthew chapter 4, verse 2, no food, but you take water. We have the partial fast, the type that Daniel carried out. You eat vegetables, you eat things that are unpleasant. Daniel did not eat anything that was pleasant to his soul. So it's recorded in the Bible in chapter 10, verse 3. So eat vegetables, you don't eat anything that is sweet. So that is Daniel's type of fast, and we have the intermediate. So before you engage into fast, you need to ask God what kind of fast He wants you to engage in based on your spiritual need and your physical health. Sometimes some people, despite the fact that they are sick and they are under medication, not because God told them strictly that you must go to do the absolute fast. They just feel, okay, if I do this one, it will make, if I do this one, if I engage in this one, it will make me. No, you ask God. If your doctor instructs that you eat and take drugs, you go to see someone that is superior to your pastor or anybody that is having oversight over you. You ask questions, allow them to guide you on what kind of fast is suitable for you. Mind you, all these fasts, if you do this fast properly, every one of them will yield the same results if you do it properly. If you follow the things, if you engage in the things that you ought to engage while fasting, they will all yield the same results. While fasting, you serve and give. Isaiah chapter 58 also teaches us that fasting should lead to the act of kindness. You are fasting and you are rude, you are still gossiping, you are doing all kind of petty and nasty things. I want you to know you are getting it wrong. And fasting should be a time of you to draw closer to God, like we have emphasized on in this video, and also to be kind to people. It is good, it is nice to be, whether you are fasting or not. No, because people will not remember you for what, will not remember you based on what you did today. But most people will remember you or more how you made them feel when they are around you. If you're a kind of person that whenever somebody is around you, the person is always sad, is somehow, the person is not him or herself. I want you to know that it is wrong, because people will always remember you based on how you make them feel. Whether you are fasting or you are not, just be kind to people. Just be kind. There is nothing that will be taken away from you if you are kind to someone. Lastly, I want you to know that why fast? Because you have not eaten for a certain time frame. When you want to break your fast, you will carry all the food that you have not eaten from. For example, if you're someone that did from 6 to 6, you want to eat breakfast, you want to eat lunch and dinner in one fast. No, I want you to know that when you do that, you are you are just wasting your time, because people like eat a very massive portion and your body will only take the one and use that one it needs. Yes, your body will take what the ones it needs and the others will pass it out. So I want you to know that it is not about, you know, eating. No. When you want to break, you break gradually. You don't just jump into food. There are proper way to break. Sometimes if you want to break, some people prefer to use water to break first. Other people prefer to eat something very light and simple before they engage into the main meal. Before you break, not that it is 6 o'clock, you just piam or you just rush and start eating. No, before you go to eat, you pray first. Appreciate God for the grace that have carried you from morning till that time. If it is 3 days before you go to break, pray, appreciate God. Little time. It doesn't mean that you pray if you want to. Depends on how the Spirit of God leads you anyway. If He's leading you and you are praying, don't just cut the prayer and say, it's time for me to eat. No, you continue because you don't know what God will want to work out in your life. So I want you to know that while breaking your fast, it is essential to break it gradually. Start by drinking water or you eat something light before you jump into your main meal. The benefits of fasting. I want you to know that fasting has a lot of benefits. It has benefits to your health. It has across every area of your life. It helps you even in your academic, your level of assimilation. Bible us understand in Isaiah 58 also that your head, so shall thy head spring forth speedily. You know, your health spring forth, and the righteousness of the Lord shall go before thee. And if you read Isaiah 58, you see all the benefits that are outlined if one properly engaged in fast. The Lord shall be thy guide, and when you fast, you are sensitive to the Spirit of God. You are sensitive spiritually, and your strength is renewed when you fast. Your spiritual strength is renewed. I really want to encourage you, my dear friends. Possibly you are out there and you are struggling to fast, don't know how to, or don't know, can't stay away from food without your body, without you feeling somehow. I really want to encourage you that the God of all grace shall supply grace, and pray for grace before you start. Don't just run into it, don't just jump into it. Ask God for grace, and God will definitely give you strength, because it is something good. It is God's will. It is God's, God the desire that His children fast, His children come closer to Him. So ask Him for help, and He will definitely help you and see it. So thank you for joining me thus far, and I really want to appreciate all my viewers and those that have subscribed to my channel. And if you have not subscribed to my channel on YouTube, kindly do so, because more content, more faith-based content, more inspirational content will be coming up, and we don't want to miss it. Thank you.